Tech billionaire Elon Musk sparked a debate recently when he said college is just for fun, and in today's age, you can get your education free online. So, is enrolling in post-secondary school necessary?
You know what,
today?
Elon? You're a billionaire. So you can say a lot of these things.
But he wasn't a billionaire. I mean, we interviewed his mother on the show.
But he's saying that now. He's saying that now because he's an entrepreneur. And yes, many entrepreneurs, there's many stories of entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs and the like. They dropped out of school and then they went on to make billions. That is an exception. That is not the rule. That is a very, very small sliver of people. And I also say that it's only people who can afford to eat who can afford to go on a diet. My point is that my mother, she came from the Philippines, and the only way out of your socioeconomic status was to get an education. That was your ticket out. So she instilled that in me. Certainly for my mother, there's not an option. It's not like, oh, you know what, you want to do something else, great. She'd say, get your degree, then go do whatever you want, because it is still shown that the hottest jobs in the job market today require degrees. And I want my kid to have a job. So where are the jobs? Get a degree.
Let me read Kathy's comment on Facebook. Kathy says, maybe you can learn a lot for free, but you won't get a lot of jobs without that degree, to your point. Most people are not entrepreneurs, also, to your point. Okay, some serious real talk right now, because there are conversations that go on in the households of people of color and immigrants, and the conversations usually go something like this. It's a parent telling their kid when they're of a certain age, here's the situation, you have to be better than most. You've got to work harder than most, you've got to be better than most, you've got to push more than most. That's what happens. And most means getting an education. Most means post-secondary. And when you get to post-secondary, it isn't about being a game, it's where you up your game. You up your game so that you have a better shot when you get out there and you're in the real world, because you've got to have everything stacked up in your favor, because when you walk through that door, you're not equal. And that's the conversation.
I hear what you're saying.
That's it.
And obviously, like my parents are both teachers, and I believe in the value of education. What bothers me nowadays a lot of times is that I feel these kids, a lot of them are getting out of high school, younger than when I got out of high school, we had an extra year, and are being forced to just kind of go into school and ending up with these incredible debts when they aren't even sure what it is that they want to study or what direction they're heading in. And I think that we should flip it. Like, there's so much emphasis on education, and I think we should take a step back, because I think there are ways around this while you can still eventually get a degree when you know what it is you want to do. Obviously, we always want, we want doctors and architects and scientists to have degrees, but there are a lot of types of education and types of careers and vocations that don't require a conventional route. And I think we need to be more embracing of that, because let's face it, as Susan pointed out on Facebook, that college and university are great ways to get into lots of debt. And in her opinion, she says, bite off way more than you can chew and spend the rest of your life digging yourself out. You can learn anything for free, this is Susan's opinion, if you put your mind to it. And I think that there is something to be gained from that kind of thinking. Like right now, Jason, my partner, he does have a university degree, but he's decided to switch gears and go into he's started to go do a new vocation. He's teaching himself code. That wouldn't be my style. I could never do this in a million years, but he's been doing online courses, he bought a ton of books, he's teaching himself, and he's building stuff as a result. So the evidence is he has knowledge, and he is doing something
Go
with
back
that
one step
knowledge.
further. Yes, 100%, but he's how old?
In his 40s.
Okay. So he wasn't doing that in his 20s, and I say that because degrees or post-secondary education, that provides a foundation. It doesn't just provide you with knowledge. It is a foundation because it teaches you, he's learning all these things, and he's a smart guy, but go back all the way to the beginning. School teaches you written
if he were
skills,
sitting here,
collaboration,
I'm not sure he would
communication, leadership skills. So that in school, it's not just what you're learning, it's teaching you how to learn so that you can teach yourself down the road.
I don't know if that's actually true for every single personality type. Some people, again, I loved my university experience. I learned more, though, as soon as I started interning and being on the job than I did in my years of university. I'm just putting that out there.
But what did you bring to the job?
But
you brought to the job really great language skills, how to put together a proper grammatically correct sentence. You learned that stuff somewhere before.
I'm not saying that you wouldn't learn that stuff before. What I'm saying is we have to get creative for certain types of vocations. And I think you still have to be accountable. You still have to learn stuff. Ideally, you could go to actual school, not pay. I'm just saying, in some situations, go to school, be there, take the lectures, learn what you need to do, and then maybe have what if you have like, why am I escaping the word for it? Like a mentor. I would mentor a person who maybe didn't have the financial means to go to school, who wanted to, let's say, get into this type of business. I would test that person. I would ask them to read certain things. Like I think we have to think a little bit more out of the box as universities have become increasingly cash grabs for I think, for lots of types of people.
Also, I mean, I for sure. And what you're also saying is that the university system hasn't been challenged, so there's such like it's so dogmatic in the sense that it doesn't leave room for different personality types like Jason.
Yes.
And
He's
so,
an introvert.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that those attitudes where you're just like university above all means that universities themselves, or at least colleges and the education system, doesn't have to evolve and change. It's been slow. Let's all admit it. Like academia has been slow to evolve and it's left a lot of people behind. I wish he didn't say it this way, Elon Musk, because it's like, oh,
Smug.
just go to college for fun. Like, I'm sorry,
Well,
who's
really,
having fun?
It's really privileging.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
really
it's
privileging.
really
But I mean, when you're
privileging.
putting it that way, what you're saying is like, it's not inclusive. When we're talking about buzzwords of these times, the word inclusive should also apply to academia. And let's be honest, is academia inclusive?
No, of
It is
course not.
absolutely not.
Of course not.